All right. Hello. Welcome back to Jumble, episode two, I guess, season two, episode two. Uh, so today I'm looking at this slate of games. Like I said last week, we're gonna go through all the games for, I believe it's week six. Predict those, depending upon how long it takes or how short it takes. We may or may not have another segment. It's kind of time dependent. If this doesn't take long, we got one more thing. If it takes a long time, we're not doing it. Um, However, before we get into that, Leighton here has told me that he has some kind of surprise. I don't know if he's about to like blow up his computer or if he's about to drop a green screen. I have no idea. So, Leighton, whatever it is that you have, go for it.
No, my surprise was pretty simple. It's just a quote. And the quote is what my dad says. So me and my sister, it started last year. You know how my dad is. He's something else. You just gotta meet him. Anyways, he pulls out random facts that he believes in, and I don't know where he gets them from, right? And me and Cuddy, we just ignore them, right? But some of them are hilarious. So here we are, me and my sister just sitting there, right? We call him butt facts because he pulls them out of his butt.
Oh
So
yeah.
we're just sitting there, and he's dead serious. He's like, "Did you guys hear Taylor Swift broke up with Travis Kelsey for Brock Purdy?" And we just looked at him. I'll try to look it up. I try to find it, and we can't find it anywhere where that even is remotely close. So I felt like I should have shared that. So yeah, I felt like that was funny.
That's pretty funny. Jason's a good one, man. He's a good one. That's
And he
funny
does
though.
it like every week, pulls out a random butt fact.
I
But
forgot
yeah,
about butt facts. I forgot about those. All right. Well, with that being stated, we'll jump into the first game. We do have a game of the week. We're going to go in order on the time slot, but we are going to save the game of the week for last, even though it is not actually the last game. So the way this is going to work, Leighton, you keep track of your predictions, write them down in your phone, whatever. I'm going to type them down in my notes as we go. We're going to keep track of who gets the most right during the year. You don't have to track your losses, just track the ones you got right. Uh, Game of the week, double points, so that'll be 2 points, and everything else is one, and that's it. And we already decided on the game of the week, so it's just. But we'll start off. Like I said, we'll go down the time slot. Um, so the first game, the next game is gonna be the Broncos and the Chiefs. Leighton, I'll let you go first. Who is gonna win this probably tightly contested game between the Broncos and the Chiefs?
but I don't know the over or under, but it's probably the highest game this week. So yeah, obviously the Chiefs. There's not much to be said there.
Yeah, the over under is 10.5, which is actually less than I would have thought it would have been. It actually is not the highest over under this week. I'll tell you what it is
Really?
when we get. It won't surprise you when I tell you what it is. Actually, there's two that are higher than this. There's one that I'm really surprised is higher than the other, but the second
Oh,
highest
I
doesn't
forgot.
surprise me.
I
Yeah,
forgot about the. All
yeah.
right, who you
So,
got?
uh, man, I just don't know. It's a tough one. Uh, I guess you know what? I'll go with the Chiefs. I don't feel good about it, but something about a team that has Patrick Mahomes, I just something tells me they're probably gonna beat the Broncos. Just gut feeling. I could be wrong, but I feel okay about that one. All right.
Solid pick.
I would hope so. Moving on from that, we have a 9:30 game Sunday. Maybe that's the London game because I know they do one in London
Yeah,
every so
has to
often.
be.
Yeah, I would assume. And we got the Ravens and the Titans. Who do you got on that one, Layden?
I think this one would be more close than the Broncos and Chiefs. I got the Ravens. Lamar Jackson looked great last week. I mean, his wide receivers could not catch the ball. It was one of the most best performance I've seen from a quarterback, and he didn't even get a touchdown.
I know it's crazy.
So yeah, I got the Ravens on that one if his wide receivers can catch.
Yeah, for the sake of my fantasy team, I really need those guys to step it up. I mean, this week it didn't matter because I played late, and of course I'm gonna destroy Leighton's team regardless. So like it's fine. But when Sam Howell drops 38 on the bench and I have Lamar Jackson with 15, it's just like I'm gonna need you boys to start getting some balls. But yeah, I do feel bad for having the Ravens so high on my power rankings last week after watching that. Nonetheless, I do still believe in the Ravens. Even more so, I just don't believe in the Titans at all. The over under on this game, we could read the over unders, by the way, I guess, since I have them right here. 4.5 in favor of the Ravens. I'm going to go Ravens. I think they're going to pull this one out. Now, Leighton, for the second highest over under on the week, we have the Panthers traveling to Miami, 13 and a half, which to me, this game should be the highest over under. I think
Yeah.
this is worse than the one that's actually a little bit higher. I'll start this one. There, if Miami loses this game, I will be shocked. Like I, dude, I don't even know what I would do. It would just blow my mind to see Tua and Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, and those boys go out and not put up at least 35 against the Panthers. I would be absolutely, utterly shocked. If we're not doing this, but if we discuss like a lock for the week, like one team that I knew was going to win, it would be Miami. So I'm
Yeah.
rolling with Miami on that one. There's just no way.
Yeah. I got Miami too, but I wouldn't take that bet. I think it's gonna be like a 10-point game. That's my predict. I think it's gonna be like 35 to like 25 or something. 24.
I just
I
don't
think it'd be
see.
closer than we think.
I don't know because I don't see Miami not scoring 35, and the Panthers are so bad. I mean, when are they going to put up 25, especially against a
That
good defense?
that's just one of those games though. The Dolphins are gonna come in. It's at Miami, I
It
think.
is in Miami. It is in Miami.
They're gonna come in there, but this is an easy game. And I think the Panthers will compete a little bit, not a lot. They'll compete a little bit, but yeah, Dolphins are gonna win regardless. So I got
I would
them.
imagine so. Next game on the slate, we have San Francisco traveling to Cleveland. What do you got for that one?
San Fran and Cleveland. Let me look. Well, that's an
San Fran
obvious
is
anyways.
yeah, they're a 7 point favorite headed into Cleveland.
Yeah, Brock Purdy looks good.
It
No
does.
flaws on that team so far. Only thing, if they can just stay healthy, they'll win most of their games. Haven't looked
They
at their
should.
schedule, but yeah, only thing that's stopping them right now is the Grim Reaper. So
Pretty much. I'm going 49ers too. They're the best team in football. They're elite on both sides of the ball. I mean, they played a team last week who objectively, the Cowboys have a really good defense. And the 49ers looked like they were playing against third graders. I mean, it didn't matter at all. So I got to roll with the 49ers until they show me a flaw in their team. I just don't understand how I can bet against them. I do think they're going to lose eventually, but I was looking at their schedule today. I don't know when it's going to be because their schedule
they'll
really isn't that bad. But
yeah.
I'll rock with them as well. Next game on the slate, we have 2, 3, and 2 teams, same division if I'm not mistaken. We got the Colts traveling down to Jacksonville. Jacksonville is a 4 point favorite. This, I think, would be a close game if not for the fact that Anthony Richardson is out. Given that Anthony Richardson's not going to be playing, and I know Gardner Minshew is a capable quarterback, I mean, he'll be fine. But I got to go Jags. I think Trevor's kind of starting to figure it out. Travis Etienne looked huge last week. That was a great game on his part. Calvin Ridley is slowly but surely coming back. I think that offense is really starting to figure it out. And the defense, as long as they can just be, okay, bordering the fence of a top 15, 16 league average defense, I think they'll be a playoff team. But regardless of what they do in long term, I definitely think they should beat a team that doesn't have their starting quarterback. That really isn't even great when they do have their starting quarterback. So I'm going to go with Jacksonville on that one.
Yeah, Travis Etienne, he looked really good. The only thing that concerns me was they was in London for 2 weeks, so you gotta think jet lag might play a factor into it. I doubt it, but you never know. But I got the Jags too.
It's possible. Okay, here we have a really interesting one. A 2-3 team and a 3-2 team. Both teams, I feel like that should suck entirely, but don't necessarily completely suck. We got the Commanders traveling to Atlanta. Atlanta is a 2.5 favorite. I'll start this one. I'm gonna bet on my boy Sam Howell. I'm gonna bet on my boy Sam Howell. I'll take the upset. I really don't think it is much of an upset. I just say upset in the terms that they are not the Vegas favorite. I mean, I don't think the Commanders come in and win this game, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, I'm so surprised!" Or Atlanta wins this game. Oh my God, I'm so surprised. The reality is neither one of these teams are very good, and they just happen to be on each other's schedule. It would be a big win for both of them because falling to 2-4 is a lot worse than 2-3, it's a very minimal difference, but it is a big deal. And same for Atlanta. It's a whole lot better to be 4-2 than 3-3. I mean, 4-2 is a solid record. It's a really good record to start off the year. So I think this is actually a really big game for both of these teams. I think it could determine a lot of what the rest of their season is going to look like, which is kind of weird to say in a Week 6 game, but think there's only 18 weeks. So, I mean, this marks the 1/3 point through the year. So, at this point, I mean, every game matters from week 1, but at this point, every game really matters. So, I think this is a pivotal game for both teams. I'm going to take the Commanders, just bet on Sam Howell to be great, which he has been in every game but one, where I think he threw like 4 picks, which was awful to watch. But he played great last week. I'm going to bet on him to play good this week against a defense that's not horrible, but not great. I'll take the Commanders.
Yeah, this is going to be a tight game. So I picked the Falcons, and I think it's gonna be a good game. Um, I'm a big fan of their rookie running back and their other running back. They got a good run game going. Um, I feel like their quarterback's kind of getting going. I mean, he looked good last week. I think it was last week. But regardless, I haven't watched many Falcons or Commanders games, but I have faith in the Falcons. So yeah, I got them.
All right. It's a good that we're starting to have some different ones. If we all pick the same ones, I
I
mean,
know
it's not going to look
that
any
was our
different.
first one.
Uh, Here's an interesting one: Saints and Texans. I'll let you start this one. I think this is an interesting game as
Mm.
well.
I picked the Saints, and the reason I picked the Saints is one word, and that's their defense. They got a top, I don't know the actual, but I'm pretty sure it's like sixth or seventh ranked defense in the league. Defense is really good. Derek Carr, he looks he looks okay.
He's all
I
right.
think he's coming off a shoulder injury, but yeah, I think they'll get it done. I mean, Texans, I'm not sold on them yet. They got that good quarterback, but what's their record?
I think they're 2-3. Yeah,
Yeah, I got the Saints on that one.
yeah. I'm rocking with New Orleans as well. The biggest thing is the defense. The Texans don't have a great
Yeah.
one. The Saints have a very good defense. I think the offenses are actually pretty close to balancing out, but the Saints offense has looked really good since Alvin Kamara came back in week 4.
Uh,
Um, so I think just the impact of Kamara having whether you think Derek Carr is good or not, you can't deny his experience. I'm just going to bet an inexperienced quarterback to know that this is a pivotal game because it's the same thing with the Commanders in Atlanta. We got a 3-2 and a 2-3 team, and losing this game for both teams is a big deal, and winning this game for both teams would be a big deal. So I'm going to rock with the veteran quarterback. That's the biggest part of me picking the Saints here. Uh, Next game, Bengals and Seahawks. I'll start this one. Jamar and Joe look like they're starting to figure it out last week. Uh, they obviously still have some problems. They're 2-3, but again, I keep talking about these 2-3 teams that are good teams. I think the Bengals go into this game saying, "Look, we're 2-3. We've had a terrible start. Joe's been dealing with some stuff. If we lose this game, 2-4 is a hard hole to dig out of because you got to win two. You got to win two in a row to get back to 500. Then you got to win another one to be above 500 before you lose a game. So I mean, 2-4 is a hard record to dig yourself out of. But 3-3, now you're playing ball. Now you have eliminated yourself from anything. You put yourself in a fairly good position. So I think the Bengals are going to come into this team with a team that shows they have that playoff experience, knows what they're capable of, and say, we need to win this game. And I think they're going to. Also, I think the Seahawks have overachieved at this point. I don't think the Seahawks are as good as their record shows. So I think the Bengals take this one.
yeah, I'm big on the Seahawks actually. I think I think they're going to finish, at a wild card spot. But Jamar Chase, like he said, he's always effing open, and Joe Burrow
He
got it
said,
to him. He got it to him Sunday and ended up
yeah,
with what 50, 40 fantasy points.
I think it was
Just kept
52.
throwing to him.
Yeah, he
I
just
I can't remember his exact stats. I think he only dropped like one ball or that was thrown to him, like not actually a drop. think it was
Yeah,
like
it was
13,
something
14.
crazy.
I can't remember. But yeah, I think they're figuring it out and right at time too. It's kind of like last year and the year before, actually. They just start out slow and then they just find their groove
Yep.
about this time of year. So yeah, I think it'll be close though. I think it's like a 7 point game, 3 point game,
I was thinking
Bengals
like
favor.
7. I was thinking like 7 to 10, something in that
Yeah.
ballpark. All right, next one we have the battle of the 1 and 4s. Vikings and Bears. Leighton, who do you got? That's your division.
Vikings and Bears. Let's see, who did I pick? I picked the Bears because Justin Jefferson is hurt. He's on the IR now. DJ Moore looked really good on that Thursday night game. Justin Fields looked really good, but you can credit DJ Moore most for that. I watched the fourth quarter of that game and they played pretty good ball. The Vikings, I mean, I'm not sold on Kirk Cousins. They turn over the ball way too much. I mean, so is the Bears though. So I'm not trying to give the Bears too much credit here, but that game's going to be who wants to lose more, I guess. So I got the Bears.
Probably. I'm gonna bet on the Vikings on this one. I actually like Kirk. I it Justin being down is definitely a big deal, especially since you don't have Dalvin now. Obviously, it wouldn't have been good last year either, but it's a whole lot less bad when you can be like, oh, we can't throw to Justin. Oh, wait a minute, we have Dalvin Cook. Here you go, buddy. But now you don't have that because Alexander Madison is not giving you a Dalvin. He's just not. And I like Alexander Madison. I think he's a good running back, but he's not as good as Dalvin. Um, I guess I'm more so betting on experience again. This team is most of this same team has been together for 2 or 3 years now. So again, a situation where I mean 2 and 4 is bad because they win. Either team wins this game, they're 2 and 4. And I keep talking about record. I just think week 6 is a really pivotal point in the season where your record says a lot about what you can or cannot do. 2 and 4 is very, very bad. It is extremely hard to dig out of a 2 and 4 hole, but it is possible. However, I would argue that it is nearly impossible to dig out of a 1 and 5 hole. You're 1 and 5, your season's over, you're tanking for a top pick. I think the Bears are in a position where they might actually want to do that. I don't think the Vikings are trying to do that. So I think they're going to come out with more of a reason to win this game. And I think Kirk somehow, some way is going to be able to do it. I don't know exactly how, but I do think it'll.
Very well
After,
said.
thank you. After that, we have Raiders Patriots. I'll start this one off. As far as I've seen, Bill Belichick has said that as of right now, Mac Jones is still the starting quarterback. Knowing that, I'm taking the Raiders. Simple as that. I'm not betting on Mac Jones.
Yeah,
I'll take the Raiders.
that's straight up. Um, the Raiders didn't really impress me when they played the Packers. I mean, both teams looked awful in that game, but they would have lost that game if Christian Watson didn't get horse collared there at the five
Smart
yard
play.
line.
Smart play. It really
It,
was.
yeah, that brought up conversations. Should that be an automatic touchdown? But you don't want to give out free touchdowns. But I definitely think it should have
That's
been on the 1 yard line.
it's tricky. It's kind of like in the
Yeah,
NBA where where there's the clear path foul now. They don't just give you the
yeah.
bucket, but it's the same thing as a technical. So you get the shots
Put
and
it
you
on
get
the
the
field,
ball.
bro.
But I don't know how you do that in football because you can't like not have defense out there. So you throw this ball and he catches it, it's a touchdown. Like it's just not the same thing. So there probably should be some accommodation, but I'm not. I guess I'm just not smart enough to know like what it should be. Because I definitely don't think it should be an automatic touchdown, but it shouldn't just be your
Yeah,
standard horse collar penalty.
yeah. But anyways, that being said, I got the Raiders winning it. Both teams don't look good. I mean,
No, they both
Pat's
suck.
struggling at the QB position, obviously. Bill Belichick, I think he's tanking for a pick. That's what I think he's doing. He's smarter than to let Matt Jones run the show for this year and next, not to be getting a good pick. So, yeah, I got the Raiders.
Can you hear those sirens?
No,
There's something going on downstairs. Uh, anyway,
fire alarm.
Nick, I okay. No, it's not the fire alarm. It just I don't know what it is, but it's not. Thank God, it's not the fire alarm,
Always like dude.
dude. I still hear them. Oh my gosh, I don't know what that is going on down there. Please don't
No,
be a
I can't
fire.
hear.
That's good. It's loud though. I got these on noise canceling too. Anyway, we'll just move on to the next game and hope the building isn't going up in flames right now. We got the Cardinals and the Rams. I'm actually tempted to take the Cardinals, but I can't. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
The Rams have a lot more talent. Cooper Cup is back now. Uh, I love this guy's. LeBron came up with this nickname, Puka Doncic. That guy's a baller. Uh, I really like him. Matt Stafford's looking good again, coming off injury, which is good to see. The defense looks a little better than I kind of expected it to after losing Jalen Ramsey, because I think the secondary is really important, probably more so than a lot of people would give credit to. But they still look good, and more importantly than the Rams looking good, the Cardinals suck. It's weird that their one win came against a team that's actually really good. That's a little weird, but I'm not buying into any Cardinals hype. So I'm going to take the Rams on this one.
Yeah. Two things though. Is the Cowboys really that good?
I think we'll find out this week. I think we'll
Yeah.
find
On
out this week,
paper,
to be honest with you.
I think we overhype them every year, but besides the point, Rams look Cardinals do have that win, but I don't think Cowboys are that good. It's probably going to upset a lot of Cowboy fans, but the Rams, they got Cup back. They got Puka, which I love his name. But you said it's a big pivotal game. You said this with half our games. It's very
I
pivotal for
know.
the Rams. I think they'll get it done. I think they want it more. And quite frankly, I think it might be a blowout. Rams.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either.
Uh, Moving on to the next game. I'll let you start
We
this
only
one.
picked
Do
we only
what?
picked two different ones, right? We only got two different ones, right?
So far.
All right,
Uh,
all right.
Next game, we have the Eagles traveling to New York to play the Jets. Who do you have in this
Oh my. I like the Eagles. They're an obvious pick, but Jets haven't been playing bad. I mean,
one? Oh, they've looked
if it
okay.
if they was playing anyone other than the Eagles, let's say they were playing, the Patriots or the Vikings or the Bears or someone, they would
I
probably win. But they're
I would
playing
pick
the
them
Eagles,
against a lot of teams. Yeah.
and it sucks that they're pointing the season too. They won two games against Broncos, one against the Bills. I think they look good, but they're gonna be 2-4,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yep. Unfortunately for them, it's just not a good look. Unfortunate scheduling for them because they were scheduled as a team who had Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. So you want to see Aaron Rodgers play against the the Eagles, and you want to see him play against the Chiefs, and you want to see Aaron Rodgers
Yeah,
play all these people. And now it's setting Wilson up to be screwed. I mean, it's unfortunate. There's no way anybody could have predicted it, but it is very unfortunate for the rest of the players and Aaron Rodgers too. Yeah, it's the Eagles. Like Leighton said, if the Jets were playing a lot of other teams this week, I would actually take the Jets. The Jets have looked
I
good.
would too.
But when you're playing the undefeated Eagles, well, I can't. Like it's got to be the Eagles. Moving on to the next game. This is actually the highest over under of the week at 14 points, point 0.5 more than the Panthers Dolphins. Uh, I don't really agree with it. I mean, it should be high, but I don't think it should be higher than Panthers Dolphins because you're looking at that game. That's 4-1 versus 0-5. This is 3-2 versus 1-4. We're looking at the New York Football Giants traveling to Buffalo. Who do you got winning that one?
Buffalo, they look good. If I had to change my power rankings from last episode, I'd probably put them up
Yeah, they'd be higher.
like to like a 2 or maybe even a 1. I don't know, maybe a 1. That's
I definitely would have
debatable.
them at 1, but they would be higher.
Yeah, but yeah, Bills non-negotiable. When is Saquon back? Is Saquon already back? I know he got hurt.
I don't know. I don't think he's back this week.
Oh yeah, Bills.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Uh, Bills. Unfortunately, this week there's not. I wish there were more games where we could really like talk about it and have like discourse of Leighton thinking that it's this team and me thinking that it's this team. But like, frankly, there's a lot of games this week that have the potential to be blowouts. Like, it's unfortunate, but it's the way the schedule goes. Some weeks
It's
we'll come
gonna-
up here. Do what?
Go ahead. I
Oh,
forgot
you're
what I was
good.
gonna say. I
Okay.
forgot what.
I mean, there's some weeks where we're looking at, this slate of games and we could literally pick a different team for every game. It just, it's not this week. It's the Bills. The Giants. I actually expected the Giants to be decent this year. It looked like I was wrong. Sorry, Austin. It's unfortunate. I hope they do better. I like Saquon. I'm actually a Saquon fan. I really do. But they're not good. They're just not good at football. And that's okay. Maybe next year. The famous words of NC State fans. Maybe next year. Uh, next game.
Austin is
Uh,
the chillest Giants fan I've ever met.
he
He's
really
so chill
is.
about his sucking.
I know. I would be a lot more upset if I was a Giants fan, but he's actually cool about it. He doesn't really care.
They got that pick six against the Dolphins, and he was so hyped about it. I'm like, man, you lost like by 21 points. But he's like, yeah, but we got a pick six from like the 2 yard line or something, or in the
You
end
gotta
zone. It was
be
102 yards.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be excited about the little things, especially when you're pulling for teams who, in the last 10 years, which really, I guess they've been pretty good in some of those years, but, you know, the Giants are a weird team. They're either a pretty consensus playoff team or they really suck. And it's usually nowhere in between. There's, of course, anomalies, but
Hey,
generally it's one or the
there's a
other.
few teams like the Vikings. That's when you say that. That's what I think of as the Vikings.
That's true. Yeah, there is a few of those. Uh,
Mhm.
Lastly, we're going to skip to the Monday Night Football game. We discussed this being the game of the week, but we chose a different one. This is a big game though. My Chargers, the Cowboys will be traveling to SoFi to play us. Now, of all I've talked about, of all these games being really big games for teams, I think this has the most impact of any game this week. Because you're looking at the Cowboys who are coming off getting spanked by the Niners. And this is why I say I think we'll really find out who the Cowboys are this week. If they travel to SoFi and they put up a good fight against the Chargers, or they win, but it's a good game. You say, the Cowboys, because the Chargers have a lot of talent. Regardless of the Chargers' mishaps and mistakes, they're a good football team. So if Dallas comes in and they beat us, or yeah, I think they would have to beat us because if they fall to 3-3, there's going to be a lot of questions. But if they beat us, even if it's just by a little bit, but they play us well, I think we can look at Dallas and say, you know what, the 49ers just must be that dang good. I think it's big for the Chargers too. We're looking at 2-2. A loss puts us below 500, where you're looking at a team who's in a relatively tough division. I mean, we do have the Broncos and Raiders, which is nice, but we also have the Kansas City Chiefs, who we have to play twice a year, which sucks. But I think it'd be a big game for us. Give us a little bit of a lead, be a little bit above 500, give us some leeway to play with. Brandon Staley can make some bolder calls than he already does. So I think this is a huge game for both teams. I think this is going to be a great game. I think it'll be a really close game. I think the Cowboys are going to come out fired up because, like I said, they got absolutely spanked last week. But I'm still going to take the Chargers. I think the Chargers win somewhere between like 3 and 7 points. It's going to be a good game, but I'm going to take the Chargers.
Yeah, you said all good things there. So I ain't got much to say. Cowboys, Dak threw so many picks. Chargers, they're getting Austin Eckler back on I think he missed 2 games. I have
Yeah.
him in my fantasy, so that's big for me. I love Justin Herbert. With his hair and everything, it looks good. So I got Chargers.
Okay. I'll let you lead off with our game of the week here. We have two teams, only one loss. Let me make sure I get the records right. 3-1 Bucks. The 4-1 Lions, who are a 3-point favorite, will be traveling to Tampa to play those boys. Who's winning that game, Leighton?
It's in Tampa, so Baker Mayfield, he looks amazing. Mike Evans is doing good. But he doesn't
Yep.
look amazing. He looks good. I
He
won't
looks
say
good.
amazing. He's
He
not
looks
MVP.
good.
He look on the other side, you got the Lions. Their offense looks, really good, actually. I mean, I could hate on the Lions all week, but I can't. They look good. Not much to say about how bad they look. So, but I got the Bucks. I think they'll upset them just because of Baker Mayfield. I think he has that
Okay.
grit to do it at his home stadium. It'll be
Grit.
close though. It's going to be good. It's definitely one of the games I will watch. That and the Eagles or not Eagles, Chargers and Cowboys. So
Got that grit. Do you think Baker Mayfield is sneaky athletic? High motor
sneaky
player?
athletic.
High motor?
I don't get where you're going with this.
Okay. It's
Sneaky athletic.
next time you watch a football game or a basketball game and like somebody dunks it or whatever, and they say, "Oh, he's kind of like sneaky athletic." Notice how it's a white guy every single time. It's always the white guy that's sneaky athletic because
Oh
you
my
leave
god.
like think about Austin Reeves or like the guy that is sneaky. Like think about when Alex Caruso first started doing putback dunks. Like everybody's like, "Oh my god, like this guy can jump." He's like, "Oh yeah, he's sneaky athletic. He's a white guy." That's what they say, like high motor, sneaky athletic, gritty player. That's what they always call the white guys. Uh, anyways, uh,
I think Baker has that dog in him, dude. He's just I like Baker ever since
I do too.
college. I've always liked Baker.
I watched almost all those Oklahoma games. I really enjoyed his college tenure. But I'm glad we picked this one different because it's our double point game. So it's a good game for us to have different,
Nice.
especially since we didn't
It
have that
is.
many different. So, we could split it, but this whoever gets this game right, that'll be good. I'm taking the Lions. I like the Lions. I believe in Dan Campbell. I'm all in on the Dan Campbell. He's one of my probably one of, if not my very favorite coach in football right now. He's got them boys fired up, man. They come out ready to play and ready to win every single week. I don't think this week is going to be any different. Frankly, just after watching Baker with the Panthers, and as much as I want him to succeed, I hope he succeeds. I just keep waiting for that fateful game where he throws 3 picks. And playing a 4-1 Lions team, this could very well be the week that he's throwing the 3 picks. I would not be surprised. Again, I hope he succeeds. If I got to pick who wins, I would probably rather the Bucks win. I mean, while they are in the Panthers division and you want the Panthers to do well, I've already given up all hope on the Panthers season because they're 0-5 and they're about to be 0-6 because they're going to play Miami. So their season's over. So like,
Yep.
so like trying to root against the Bucks or Saints or Falcons, it doesn't even matter at this point because we're 0-6. It doesn't matter. So like, I'm gonna take the Lions, and that's our double point game. So that brings us to the end of what we will call part one. Uh, we'll have a very brief part two. I'm not going to say what it is for the sake of you're going to have to go watch it. So figure it out. Uh, that'll end this unless Leighton has anything else he wants to add to the end of the episode. And if not, this will wrap up our NFL predictions for the week. This will be out Thursday. What is today? It's Wednesday. This will be out tomorrow. Part two will be coming out Saturday. It may or may not have to do with football. Like I said, you'll have to find out. You just got to go watch it. So, Leighton, do you have anything else to add, sir?
No, do not. Except for, I might be sneaky athletic now that I think about it. I can
Nah,
dunk on an 8-foot goal.
an 8 foot
All right,
goal.
let's go to part two.
You should be able to dunk at a 9 foot goal. You're like, what are you like 6'2"?
I haven't tried in a while, but at the gym, I have been doing box jumps and, stuff to improve my vertical. So I haven't tried in a while.
How tall are you?
6'1", right
Okay,
at
I was
it.
thinking. Okay, I was thinking you were like six. You should at least get 9 because I can get 8.5. If you can't get 9, I'm
Hey,
five
we'll
seven.
try it. We'll try it when you come over.
All right, we'll mess around and see what we can do. I'm gonna have to stretch. I'm stiff. Every time I go to the gym, I pull a new muscle. It's terrible, but I still go. All right, we're gonna cut this off. We will see you guys in part two. Thanks for watching. Adios, deuces.